friends, welcome back to another process video. I'm here today with another installment in my One Sketch Many Ways series that I challenged myself to this summer, where I am taking the sketches from the Allison Davis 6x6 paper pads one-page layout class from her store, Scrapbook Generation. There's 20 sketches in this class, and she had a Facebook group last summer where she gave lots of tips and ideas and additional sketches to get these sketches used and really take advantage of your 6x6 paper pads. So this is sketch number 5 in the class that I am basing my layout off. I love the unique idea with the triangles, all from just a sheet of 6x6 paper. So what I did was I cut the blue, the green, and the orange paper to 6x6, and then I did some diagonal cuts to get the different triangle shapes, and then they fit back together to make a 6x6. You'll see I had done a little bit of prep work before I started filming. I backed my cut file, which is from Peartree Cutfiles. I also had stitched on my border of my layout with 3 different colors, and then stitched on my triangles. And now I'm doing some stamping. All supplies here are from Elle Studio. I believe they're from the last 3 months. I kind of had a pile of tags and kits and papers and embellishments from last 3 months kits, so I pulled out what worked for this layout, and I thought the colors went perfect for a goofy photo. And so you'll see I was just kind of testing to see what green worked. I pulled out a variety of inks from my stash, from the Stamp Market, from Studio Calico. I have little pads that are from, where are those by? Gina K, just to get all the right colors. And so my first green was I felt a little too dark, so I traded in for another. And this is a brand new stamp set. I hadn't used it before, so anytime I have a new stamp set, I always run the stamp over the back of my hand just to get off the coating that's on there, and it helps it stamp a lot clearer. And at first, some of the stamping does look a little splotchy, but looking at my final layout, it really does kind of even out over time. And this stamp set came with a coordinating die that you could purchase separately, and that's how I cut out the yellow star. And it cuts it out perfectly. I find I like to stamp it first, and then I take it over and die cut it out. And you'll see I have an orange mat behind my layout. I like to put that behind my layout when I'm stamping. It's a little bit of a cushion, and I feel that it gives a nice clear, even stamp rather than it kind of getting splotchy or it having marks in it when it stamps. So I'm adding in my stamps in 3 different spots, and now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my triangles and my paper down, and then move into the final embellishing of the layout. I have used this layout design, the sketch design, once before, I believe, and so my challenge this summer is to start at the beginning of the class and the beginning of the sketches and go through all 20 of them. And some of them I had used, some of them I haven't used, some of them I've used a bunch of times. And so as I've been sharing my layouts on Instagram, you'll see that I share the new layout that I made and then any old past layouts that I have made with this sketch. And so when you see this post, I'll share the past layout that I made. And then some of them will be new that I have never used before. Alright, so getting that photo locked in, and I did use some of the cards or the tags from this Elle Studio kit to mat behind my photo. That's one of the ways I love to use the tags. I'm not a huge pocket scrapbooker. I will sometimes use the tags to make little pocket pages with extra photos, but I like to use them behind my photos to mat them too, because it's the perfect size for a 3x4 photo. I just trim a little less than a 1/4 inch off of each side of the photo, and it gives me a nice little mat. So I'm adding in cameras in 3 spots. These puffy stickers came with one of the Elle Studio kits. I think it was, I want to say May. Could have been April though, because like I said, I have April, May, and June's kits kind of all stacked. I needed to dive into them. And then it also, that month, had a coordinating kind of camera themed stamp set. And so I'm stamping a little spot to add some journaling. It says photograph notes. I add my journaling off camera later on, using some of the die cuts that come in this month's kit. Just kind of struggling with where to place that. I think it says selfie. And when I was in Disney World in April for my honeymoon, you could not go up to the characters. And so I actually really, really liked the way they were handling it. You just kind of stood there, you could take your own photos, and then you could take a selfie too. And the characters were very responsive to noticing when you were taking your selfie, and they would kind of pose for you. So I think that was kind of fun. There was no waiting, you just went right up. This is one of my favorite ways to stamp phrases, generational stamping. So I ink up the phrase. Here you'll see me do it with this yellow one, favorite photo. I stamp it once, and then 2 or 3 more times, and then each time you stamp, it's a little bit lighter than the original color. And I think it just adds a really nice touch. So I did that in 3 spots. I've talked about this before. I like making 3 clusters in my layouts, using that visual triangle. So if you connected each of the clusters with a line, you would get a triangle, and it just makes the layout flow nicely. And I try to put some of the same embellishments in each of the clusters so that they coordinate really nicely. One month these colored puffy stickers came out, and then another month these colored puffy stickers came out with hearts and stars, so you got a variety of colors. And I'm just going in with whatever color is sort of missing from the cluster. Actually, I think what I did was I used the same color that I stamped the large star in, and then I didn't have any other stars with that color in there, so I added that in. And then it had these fun outline puffy stars. Okay, and the last thing that I do here is I'm going to add some ink splatters. I decided to go with the blue. I just smush in my ink and then tap it along with a paintbrush, and it adds just a little bit of splatter. So you'll see off camera I added some gems to each of my clusters, and there you go, some close-ups. Thanks for watching.